వెల్కమ్ టు అవర్ స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. సో మనం ప్రతిరోజు చాలా బిజీగా ఉంటాం. చాలా నాణ్యతతో కూడినటువంటి ఫుడ్ తీసుకోవడంలో చాలా నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. బట్ మనకి ఇన్స్టెంట్గా ఫుడ్ దొరుకుతూ ఉంటుంది. అందులో నాణ్యత ఉందో లేదో అనేది మాత్రం మనకి చాలా సందేహం. బట్ గిట్స్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ మాత్రం మనకు చాలా ప్రోడక్ట్స్, వేరియస్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ 50 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ పైనే దొరుకుతున్నాయి. అందులోనూ కంప్లీట్ క్వాలిటీ ఫుడ్. మరి గిట్స్ ఫుడ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడడానికి మనతో పాటు స్టూడియోలో ఉన్నారు ఎండి ఆఫ్ గిట్స్ ఫుడ్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ లిమిటెడ్, at the same time who is ex for All India Food Processing Association president, right now Honorable Secretary Maratha Chamber of Commerce Industries Agriculture, who is none other than Mr. M.A. Tejani gar. Hello Tejani gar. Yeah, and what about this GST, sir? Like, what is the GST impact on food processing industry?
GST is a path-breaking and revolutionary decision of the government to unify the country under a single tax system, as distinct from the multiple taxes that we face today. And the entire industry as well as the trade has been waiting for this for many years. And particularly for the food sector, the importance is that because of the system of refund of taxes on inputs, there will be hopefully some reduction in costs. However, because as of now the exact structure and the system is not very clear, we are just waiting with great optimism and hope that this will trigger a new explosive economic growth in the country. With regard to food products or processed foods in particular, the government has already determined that there will be 3 classes of rates. There will be some products which will have 0 GST applicable, which will be the essential items. Then there will be certain others which will be in a 4% bracket, and there is a middle rate which will be the most common, which will be around 12%, and then the highest rate for luxury goods, which may be in the region of 18 to 20%. What is hoped for is that even though the rate is kept at 18%, the increase in the total volume of trade due to this tax would compensate.
What is the future prospects of food processing industry?
See, it's a sunrise industry in India because the demographic changes and urbanization, income increase, education, and women in the workforce like yourself, who are now being gainfully occupied in various professions and so on, and are not going to stay home and just confine themselves to kitchen. So obviously when they have less time to spend at home, they would need more and more of processed foods, which would help them to balance both the work and domestic responsibilities, particularly looking after and feeding family, children, parents, because still in India in many cases we have joint family system, and so the in-laws, parents and various others, younger siblings, have to be taken care of and provided for. So there is no escape from the use of processed foods, and that is why if you have seen in advanced countries where almost all women work and very few are at home, the processed food industry is a multi-billion dollar industry. So India is following the same growth of the economic path, and therefore over here with the increase in education of women and increasing employment and business opportunities for women, this is going to grow tremendously. Who would have thought that a few years back when private airlines started, that there would be such a large scope or opportunity for employment for women in the airline industry. So new sectors are opening up, including IT and others, where women are going in very large numbers. Therefore they have got no choice but to go for processed foods, and that is why this can be regarded as a sunrise industry.
Okay, so according to your words, right now Gits food products have a good craze in the public. Then what about the future plans?
Well, we aim to reach the number 1 position in the specialization area which we are, where we make ready to cook mixes and ready to eat foods, and because we pioneered this business in India in the 60s, and we are still leading in this field, and Gits is recognized worldwide. So we are going to lift this because we have been continuously expanding the range of products which we have. So we have covered products from Western India, Northern India, South India, and even from East India. So we have got a range of Bengali products as well, which are popular both in Bengal, Assam, Odisha, and in the border areas of Bihar.
Okay. So fine. So, but CSR activity of Gits food products. What about CSR activity?
Well, you see, most companies, including Gits, have always been doing CSR, corporate social responsibility execution, giving back to society to the extent possible according to each company's perspective and vision. Gits is not an exception. Gits also has been doing this. However, since last year, the government has mandated a compulsory 2% CSR spend for companies having certain criteria like turnover criteria, profitability criteria, or investment. Gits falls in that bracket. So we are now using that 2% not only on the mandated areas which the government has prescribed in the Companies Act, but we do not restrict our CSR to only the prescribed 2%. We do not look at that aspect. We look at projects which are going to help society, lift the underprivileged, provide medical care, education, and if possible, self-employment to the extent possible. All these issues we look at, and so we do not restrict our CSR spend only to 2%. We spend much more than that.
So right now in the market we are having many products, at the same time we are having a big competition too. So what's the speciality of this Gits food product when we compare with other one?
Well, Gits is a family owned and family run company, and in a nutshell what we believe as our quality policy or benchmark is that we will not sell what we are not willing to eat ourselves. Therefore, we use best of raw materials for the product because the standard is that we want to eat it, and if we are not willing to eat it because it is not satisfactory enough for us, there is no question of selling it. So we have got all the food safety management systems, quality management systems, ISO 9000 and all other such standards applicable to food industry. But above all, our quality policy, we go by a quality policy that we will not sell what we are not willing to eat ourselves. That is why we do not have any artificial or synthetic preservatives, flavors, colors, or any other additives in our product. They are all natural products. So both in our mixes range as well as in our ready to eat foods, we use only natural products. Every day we get fresh vegetables and all the other ingredients fresh, that is gone through the cooking process and the packaging process, and after that it undergoes a sterilization process so that the pack that the consumer receives is safe from the point of view of consumption because it has been sterilized. So this is the care that we take insofar as our product range is concerned, and that is why Gits is popular worldwide.
స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఇప్పుడు ఒక షార్ట్ బ్రేక్ తీసుకుందాం. Welcome back. You have taken this quality policy. About the quality policy, you have said the quality is very good in the Gits products, right? So how the response you are getting from the public when you started this company, and right now how it has grown up?
See, well, when we started in the 60s, we were much ahead of our time because in those days processed foods were not understood or recognized. Women were more at home, they were not working, incomes were lower, education was lower.
Yes.
So people had certain prejudice against processed foods because they thought it is not hygienic, it contains unwanted, undesirable preservatives and
Yes.
other ingredients which are harmful for health, things like that. So also products were at that time much comparatively more expensive when you look at the income aspect. So people had certain hesitation to buy processed foods.
Okay.
But with the passage of time, with education, literacy, now with the advent of mass media, TV, then now we have all the social media and all that, the understanding and the fear has gone, and people realize that processed foods are very important and unavoidable, and the manufacturers and producers have also realized that people have become health conscious, so they are also taking steps to see that the products that they supply are beneficial for health, not harmful.
Okay. So totally how many different kind of products you are supplying right now, sir?
We have a range of 50 ready to cook mixes and 30 ready to eat
Oh.
food products, and we are constantly looking to innovate and pick up product ideas from different parts of the country as also around the world. For example, now in India, Chinese food has become very popular. Likewise, Thai food. So now we are picking up recipes for Chinese food in the ready to eat range as also the Thai foods, so that we can expand the variety of products and give consumers a wider choice, so that any time they want to eat any product, Gits is always available. Some or the other variety which the consumer would like, Gits has.
Okay. So what about the exporting and all?
We are already exporting to 50 countries of the world today, and we are also looking to see how we can reach other countries where we have not yet reached. For example, there are certain countries in Africa where we are not yet exporting.
Okay.
We are trying to reach those countries. Likewise, we are looking to export to South American countries, and we are already exporting to the Gulf countries, but certain countries like Egypt, Jordan and others which are relatively disturbed areas, we have not been able to penetrate, and we are now also looking to see the Russia and the CIS states.
Okay.
But because the CIS states are landlocked, it's a bit difficult to ship products there. But over a period of time, I think we'll be able to penetrate all markets.
Okay, fine, sir. Overall, everything is fine, sir. I need a brief story about this Gits food products, that when it started, how it started, whom it started, and what's the main aspect for this food product.
You see, the company was, as I told you, it's a family-owned company, family-run company.
Yeah.
My late father started this company in 1963, and initially, because as I said, it was much ahead of its time, the products were not well received in the market, and there was a period of struggle. After 1970, when I had finished my education and joined the company, gradually we began to see the change in the economy, the era of shortages began to diminish, people's income began to improve, the fear of processed foods began to reduce, and people started using the products initially more in the urban areas, and gradually through 80s and 90s, when TV came, the Asian Games came, and understanding further improved, women began to work in larger numbers, product sales began to grow, and now of course I think we are one of the leading players in India and worldwide with the export that we have for ethnic Indian food products. We have specialized so far in ethnic Indian foods. It's only now that we are looking at non-ethnic products like Chinese or Thai or any other range. But so far we have focused, because India has a very wide range of ethnic food products. There's still a lot to do and a lot to go for. But since the urban trends are for Chinese and fusion cuisine and such things, we are also examining those options.
Oh, fine, sir. What about the employees? How many of the employees are working in your industry right now?
Well, I would say including the sales staff, office staff and workers, I think it should be around 300-400 people.
Then what about the marketing strategy and what about the sales, sir? All over the world you are supplying your products.
See, the classic understanding of marketing is to identify a consumer need and fulfill it at an acceptable price. So, food products are a necessity. So, what we are basically doing is to introduce a form of processing which makes the preparation for the consumer or the housewife at home much quicker and much with very little labor. So, because of the modern circumstances, this is a preferred mode. At the same time, going in for totally ready to eat foods as compared to mixes is that the woman of the house still prefers to add her own touch to preparation of food, so that she gets a feeling that she has done the product for the family, and it is finally her touch which her family is going to eat. So that is a very important aspect that we play upon, that Gits makes it easy for the women to cope with the responsibility of kitchen and feeding the family good quality, healthy products, healthy foods. Now, as far as sales is concerned, what we are looking to see is to, apart from the traditional retail network, we are trying to reach and give self-employment opportunities to those who are lacking in education and have lacking in skills and have less employment opportunities. So, through that network, we are trying to reach the consumers direct to home. Of course, now we also have the e-tailing business where people order online, and there are specialized delivery companies which ensure that the product is delivered to the consumer at the time and the within the period that they would require the product. So, we are tapping all options because we want to see that people get employment and income and dignity and self-respect that goes with having some kind of work to do and some legitimate occupation, which in due course will grow because our population is still growing.
Yeah.
So, we are looking to all these novel aspects of reaching products to the consumers.
Yeah, one point here is every businessman will think to in the way like commercials, but here Gits product is totally different. With a reasonable price, you are going into the public. So, how come you are managing all this?
As I told you, because this is a family business and we have our family values and we believe in certain ethics. So, our sole motive is not just profit. One, two, we are not answerable to shareholders because we are the owners of the company. Therefore, there is not that kind of pressure for us to keep on showing better and better profitability and results. Because so we look at more like what we can do for society and try to keep things reasonable, where we place ourselves in the position of consumers and think that if I were the consumer, what would be this price, or how would I like it to be priced or presented, and to the extent possible we do that. Therefore, even when there are significant increases in the prices of raw materials, or packing materials or tax impact and so on, if at all we are compelled to increase price, we try to see that the increase is at an absolute minimum, so that the consumers are pressurized from all sides, because if the entire economy is getting inflationary impact and all consumer products prices are going up, and consumers having fixed income will have a lot of difficulty trying to adjust to increase costs, because their incomes do not increase in the same proportion. So, at least we try to see that as far as Gits is concerned, we will keep it as affordable as possible by minimizing the price increase.
Okay, fine, sir. In future, is there any possibilities or chances to get bond with other companies, Gits?
We haven't got any specific thought at the moment, but we have we have an open mind. So, if opportunities arise in future, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, fine, sir. What kind of support you will get from the family?
Oh, wonderful. See, I'm second generation, and now my daughters have already joined the business after their education.
Oh.
And my co-director, Mr. Gilani, that's where the name Gits comes from, Gilani and Tejani.
Oh.
his children have also joined the business. So now, while the second generation is active, the third generation has already stepped into the business, and now they are in the process of taking it to the next level.
So what finally you want to give a
Message.
audience? Yeah, message.
Message is that, well, I would, speaking on behalf of Gits, I would always want that consumers should eat more and more of Gits products, and that's the way that will allow the company to grow and give back more to society.
Fine, sir. Thank you so much. Right now in the market, we have a good product that is Gits. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
సో చూసారు కదండి, ఇది ఇవాళ స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. గిట్స్ ఫుడ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ చాలా నాణ్యతతో కూడినటువంటి ఫుడ్ ప్రోడక్ట్. ఇది మనం తీసుకోవడం వల్ల చాలా హెల్దీ ఫుడ్ అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. చాలా హెల్దీగా ఉండొచ్చు, హ్యాపీగా ఉండొచ్చు. స్టే ట్యూన్ టు HMTV.